Hello, we are back at LoveLitCon in San Diego, bringing you swoonworthy happily ever afters, spice, and laughs. Rachel Holm joins me to chat about the Brandt Brothers, a series of interconnected standalones following 5 brothers in DC, as well as her holiday romances in the Holly Ridge series. Hi, Rachel.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Are you excited about LoveLitCon?
I am. Yeah, we were walking around checking everything out before this, and it's so cool.
Does it look amazing?
Yeah, the author pavilion is like outside. Like you walk outside to get it, and it's like this like greenhouse sort of like area, and you're gonna be able to see the water like from the signing. It's so cool.
Wait, okay, you just got me. I've been kind of stuck here in
Right.
this little bubble. So, like at one point I walked out and I saw signs, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look, there are people coming!"
It's like official. There's like signs everywhere. Yeah,
Because beforehand, no, so that's amazing. I can't wait to check it out.
Super excited.
Well, let's start with just some icebreaker, bookish, beverage-related questions.
Okay,
Capitally Unexpected was the most recent Brandt Brothers release.
Yes.
If this book had a drink paired with it, what would it be?
Oh my goodness, that's such a great question. I think it would probably be like a French 75.
My favorite.
Because it's like a delicious drink, which like you want to, like you have it, you have a great time. Sometimes if you have too much, you can end up with a bad decision, but you know, the memories and what like lingers from afterwards is like worth it. So, you know, I think it's great. Yeah.
That is one of my go-tos. For the very first time ever recently, I had a French 95.
Oh.
Do you know about
No,
this?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's just swapping the gin for like whiskey.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
very different. Doesn't top a French 75 for me, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I was interested to try it, and right now with it being winter, I was like, oh, something,
like
whiskey.
A little warm, like warmer in your soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be a beverage for Make You Mine this Christmas?
Oh, probably something like Christmassy, like a spiked eggnog. Well, spiked eggnog does play a role in that. They hit that in the story, so probably a spiked eggnog or like a warm, like maybe a glühwein, something like Christmassy and warm and cozy. Yeah.
Definitely. What is your ideal reading snack and drink combo?
Okay, so the drink combo is definitely a Diet Coke because that's basically fuels my life. And then something salty probably would be, you know, like a salt and vinegar chip, or if I need something sweet, a Nerds gummy cluster. So
Yum.
something that's like, you know, kind of like small, constant, getting that sort of
I
constant
think I need
snacking.
to find those around here somewhere.
We can hook you up.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really good right now. What book would you say made you fall in love with reading?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I've been a reader like my entire life, and so I'm just like trying to think back. I loved the Sweet Valley High series, so like I like grew up on Francine Pascal, and so like the Sweet Valley High Junior High and all of that stuff. So probably those. Like, I mean, I know she like revolutionized the YA genre too, but just like my first ever AOL screen name was SVH Girl. So you know that's like how I think that really says a lot about how that defined me.
It really
Yeah, like revealing myself.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What's a book that you have been meaning to read but still haven't?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I can see Kelly out of the corner of my eye.
I'm just as guilty over
I
here,
know.
so I'm like, I'll ask the question, but don't ask me to say it.
But I think like part of it too is like there are so many authors that I admire that like I get so like intimidated is like a harsh word, but just like I get in my head about reading them because I'm like, oh, like this is gonna be so good, I'm gonna like love this experience, and then it's gonna be over. But I think the one that I think Kelly's representing right now is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, and so that's one I'm really looking forward to catching up on.
I am I'm in the same boat with you on that. I'll go ahead and admit it, so you're not alone in there.
Thank you.
If you could host a dinner party for one fictional character, who's coming?
Oh, Ilya Rozanov. I'm on a hate Rivalry kick, like so much of the world is right now. You know, it's been like 2 months since we went to the cottage, right? So, but yeah, I think it would just be a good time. And then I think Shane would come because they're a set, they're a bonded pair, so
They
it'd
are.
be a bonus,
That would be an awesome dinner.
yeah, right.
Oh
It'd be
my
so much
gosh.
fun. I mean, we'd have a lot of vodka, and you know, but it'd be a great time.
Please call me.
Okay, yeah,
because I want to
absolutely.
come.
Yeah.
I want to come too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Brandt Brothers
Okay.
to start. For listeners just hearing about the series, can you give us an overview?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Brandt brothers are 5 brothers. There's about 6-7 years between the oldest and the youngest. Their mother passed away whenever they were fairly young, and so that kind of formed a lot of their childhood. And but they have all sort of ended up in DC for one reason or another, not all at the same time. I don't think I've actually had all 5 of them. I won't have all 5 of them living there at one time. But it's just kind of a contemporary romance series about finding love and finding themselves and finding a partner to kind of, you know, walk through life with. So
Very cool and so relatable in a lot of ways. What has surprised you the most as the series has developed? Has it been a character? Has it been like a specific trope that maybe you didn't ever envision writing, but then it just naturally evolved? What surprised you?
I think one thing to admit is that I'm an only child, and so writing siblings is really interesting for me. I always use my beta readers that have siblings, but I think that like those dynamics are really interesting. And so playing with that has been really fun. I admitted that I wasn't a huge accidental pregnancy like reader before, but that's the trope of Happily Unexpected, and it also surprised me how feral people are who love an accidental unexpected pregnancy. If they love it, they love it, and that book has blown up so much more than any of the rest of the series have. So which has been really cool.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, like I was like watching the page reads, and I was like, is this like a thing? Like, is this happening? And then like the page reads have eclipsed both of the other books in the series, so which is really cool. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
that's
you.
really that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk spice.
Okay.
On a scale, and I know it's hard because it's a series.
Right.
So where does this land though? If you were talking like sweet cinnamon, 5-alarm chili.
Sure, yeah. So it's probably somewhere everybody scales a little bit different. So it's probably somewhere in the 2 to 3 range. So you have 3 to 4 open door scenes in every book, and they're there to advance the plot, but it's not woven in some ways that some more of the heavy spice books are. So yeah.
I think that's a good middle range maybe, but like you said, everybody. I know we say that, and I'm always like, tell me a little bit about it, but it's such a personal thing. It's really hard to dictate that for somebody.
And I definitely probably tend to read spicier than I write, that was a really interesting thing that I learned when I started writing too. I expected them to be spicier, and then I was like, oh, I guess that's that's not where the journey's taking me. So.
Okay, so that kind of leads me into this next question, and maybe it's a two-parter.
Okay.
But what makes a spicy scene work for you as both a reader and then as a writer?
Yeah, such a good question. I think as a reader, sometimes I've wanted to be outlandish and just be like, does that actually physically possible? Okay, maybe it's not, but it's working for me on the page. So sometimes I like to be put out of my head, but as a writer, I want it to fit with the story. I don't want it to feel like it's shoehorned in there just to meet a spice expectation. I want it to either, move the plot along. In an unexpected pregnancy, you need to have a one night stand. In this particular instance, it's a one night stand to get there, and so that that had a purpose. But then it was also it showed their connection too, and it showed I call it one night stand to perfect match is kind of my tagline for it, and it really showed their connection. So for me, I want it to draw the reader in and for him to enjoy the spice scene, but I also want it to have that emotional depth and kind of propel the relationship forward.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How do you keep the spice fresh across books? So, and this is something just because I'm like, I don't think I could do it.
Right.
I would be like, oh man, it's the same thing.
Sometimes, you can play with different locations, so that can kind of keep it fresh a little bit too. I have an outdoor boat spicy scene in Happily Matched. And so obviously, on a boat, there's only so many positions and things that you can do without opening yourself into more arrest than initial, and so there's that too. Make You Mine This Christmas is an romance, and so obviously there are different things that go into that, because different parts kind of fit together different ways, so that can keep things there. But also just kind of the way the characters relate to each other too. They may be doing the same actions that were I don't know that that were in the existing or the previous books, but because of the dynamics between the two, who's taking the lead may be different, or how it's being received, or what they had to overcome to get there, makes the payoff different.
Very true.
Yeah.
Eloquently said.
Yeah, thank you.
Book 4 is on track to come out this year, yes?
Yes.
What can readers expect in Capital Yours?
Capital Yours. So Capital Yours is going to be dating lessons. It is going to be another romance. So we are going to get some romance in the Brandt Brothers, which is going to be really fun. Spencer's the baby of the family. And so I think that he was the youngest when their mom died, and he has a lot, I think, feels a lot of pressure because of how much his brothers gave up so that he could, kind of have this sort of as normal as possible childhood. And so I think that that's going to really play a big role. I'm having a lot of fun with his love interest and working that out. I think he might end up being one of my favorite love interests, and just kind of the way that he's opening up and going to like open himself up to Spencer, and how they're going to like kind of bring each other out is going to be fun.
Without spoilers, what is one word that you would use to describe the book so far? Okay. I guess it could change.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, goodness. Vulnerability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feels heavy.
Yeah, I mean, which is funny because it's low angst, but I think that like they're both going to find themselves needing to be vulnerable to earn that happy ever after. So
I like it. And then timing wise, what are you thinking for book 5?
So that's a great question. So I would love to have book 5 out by the end. This is one other thing you said, something that surprised me. So Duncan's the oldest and he's last, which is not a spoiler because there's only so many brothers. And the people are so ready for Duncan. But he ended up needing to be last. His story has to be last. The other brothers need to be taken care of before him. So I would love to get him out by the end of the year so we can, kind of wrap that up with a bow. I do have plans to start a new series that I think may come out between book 4 and 5. So I may not get there before the end of the year, but I'm going to try.
We won't hold you to it, but can you give us any info then on your teasing that there's something else? So what can we expect with a new series?
A small town and sports.
Oh.
So we're going back to the small town from the Christmas series, but we're going to add in some sports. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Which brother has surprised you the most?
Probably Hunter. I knew that Hunter. I thought the Hunter's book was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard. I thought it would be harder than it was because he kind of, I don't want to call him the black sheep of the family, but he kind of, was that person who sort of felt like he never lived up to what his the rest of his brothers did. So I thought it was going to be really hard to tap into that emotion, and it surprised me that it just kind of flowed, and I just fell in love with him and his story and finding him find his place with Michelle. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears because although I realize it's February,
right?
I love Christmas, so I don't mind talking about Christmas any time of the year, any month. Totally good with me. The Holly Ridge series.
Yes.
Can you also sum this up for us and what this series is about?
Absolutely. So the Holly Ridge series is a small town, sort of you think Stars Hollow in Massachusetts, and so kind of small town. And what Holly Ridge is known for is their Christmas festival. And so they've had it. It's been a tradition, and so they've had it for many years. And they also have a rival town, so called Winterberry Glen, which is kind of right across the river. And so the idea kind of came from I was watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, and the small town, they're walking through the streets, and I'm like, how does West Christmas Town feel about Christmas Town? Is that where the box stores are? Is that where all that stuff is? So it's is there a rivalry? And so that's kind of where the idea for it came from. How does this neighboring town that's so close to them and they have this history feel that Holly Ridge gets all of the credit for this holiday festival? And so I won't give any spoilers, but there is sort of a reveal in Carry Me Through Christmas about the history of the Christmas festival in the towns and how that changes things. So that's really fun. So both books kind of take place at the Christmas festival. The first one is festival planner and rival town CFO who have to work together to plan the Christmas festival, and then the second one is a professional Santa who gets called in whenever Santa goes down in a relay race, and they need a Santa last minute, and then the hero from the first book's best friend who plays his elf, and it's a second chance. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. So they were together in Winterberry Glen 10 years prior, and Santa, whose name is Brody, left without saying goodbye for reasons because he felt like he needed to, and so it's about them finding their way back to each other.
I'm so curious now. What have been some of your biggest influences, whether it's film, other authors? I mean, any experiences? I guess what made you decide just to start writing in general?
Yeah, I mean, I really fell headfirst into romance during the pandemic. So I always say I found my way to the romance genre because I was reading a lot of police procedurals on Kindle Unlimited, and I realized that I wanted more of like the FBI agent and the small town sheriff. Like I wanted their relationship, and I was like, I just want more of that and like less of the murder. And then I was like, oh, there's a whole like genre about this, and so that's kind of like where I kind of fell into it. And so I loved the idea of the comforting of the happy ever after. And so I've always loved writing. Like if you ask me, would you rather write than take a test? Like I'd be like, yes, please, give me a paper. Like absolutely. And so I just love the idea of telling those stories. And so, I mean, so like TV that I love Gilmore Girls. I love Mike Shore TV series. So I love laughing. I think I like when things are funny, but what I really love about those shows is you can tell, and romances too, that you can tell real human stories while still having lighthearted and like funny moments. And so I love that. That's kind of what I bring to books. And so I was watching that Hallmark Christmas movie with my best friend long distance during the pandemic, and the idea came to me, and I was like, I think I could do this. I think I could give it a try. And so I did. Yeah. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
What advice would you have? Because I know there are aspiring writers that also listen.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for them too? Because it seems like you really listen to your heart. I think you have to believe in yourself a lot. I was just talking with somebody else, like we were saying, this isn't an easy career path. Yeah. It can be so rewarding, but it's not an easy one. So what advice would you have for someone who has also watched a Hallmark movie or read something and thought, oh, I have a story idea too? What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just start writing. I mean, people, you can read a million craft books, you can take a million courses, you can, listen to a bunch of podcasts, and you should do all of those things, definitely, for sure, but sometimes you just need to, like, start writing, because you learn a lot by finishing that first book. You learn a lot about yourself, and I think you learn even more by finishing the second one, because it's not a fluke. You did it. You can do it more than once. But that for sure. But then also the really fun thing that I say is read in your genre. Read how people are writing. You know, obviously you don't want to copy somebody's style exactly, but that's how you keep up with trends. That's how you learn about the genre. That's how you learn about the conventions and the reader expectations. So I mean, the fun, it's so much fun that I can say, well, I'm reading and I'm doing it so that I can make my writing better. You know, you get to you do read less when you write. Unfortunately, there's only so many hours in a day, but I love that reading can make my writing better.
What have you learned about yourself now since starting this?
Writing and getting started with writing was a big leap. I took a big risk. I changed my entire life. I left a job. I worked at a bookstore, and now I work for an author marketing and coaching company. And so I got an MFA, I got another degree. So I think that it's the first, maybe the first time that I really set like a huge goal and like accomplished it. So I think that like learning that I can actually do that was a big thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's super inspiring.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most at LoveLitCon?
I love the author pavilion. Like, I love talking with readers. I love getting to meet people. I love you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Like, sometimes it can be outrageous. But I love meeting people. I love getting to talk to them about the Brandt Brothers and about Holly Ridge, but also about what they're reading, and like, who did you see? Who are you excited to see? Like, who do you have a stack of books in your bag about? And like, talking about those books. And there's so many authors that I admire and love and have read that are here. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to meet those authors too and see friends and just hang out. So. And
you were just talking about how cool the pavilion is.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yes, I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to do just like a rapid fire this or that. Okay. Slow burn or immediate sparks?
Immediate sparks. Enemies
to lovers or friends to lovers?
Enemies to lovers.
Fake dating or forced proximity?
Both. I have forced. Kelly's laughing at this side. I have forced proximity in every single one of my books because I think I just love. It's such a delicious coup. But probably fake dating, probably.
What? So in all of them, like you're
right. But like I mean like because it's a cheat answer because if you're fake dating, you have to be together. So like you get forced proximity through fake dating.
Fair. Okay. I'll let you have it. Alpha energy or golden retriever?
Golden retriever.
Flirting through banter or flirting through actions?
Banter.
I love banter too.
Yeah.
Where can readers and listeners connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at Rachel Writes Romance, and then I am on Facebook. I have a Facebook profile too, which is Rachel Holm Author. I'm talking about heated rivalry all the time on Threads right now, so come on over if you want to chat that with me too. Yeah, and then my books are in Kindle Unlimited and also available pretty much anywhere you can buy paperbacks online. So
wonderful, and we will be sure to link to all of that in the podcast notes so people can easily find you, connect with you, get your books as well. Rachel, Perfect. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
Have the best time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was great chatting. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks so much for listening. The Narratives and Nightcaps podcast is a production of The Craft Co. with intro music created by Remington Haynes.
Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow at Narratives and Nightcaps on Instagram or visit our website, narrativesandnightcaps.com.
Sign up for our newsletter to always know what we're reading next, which authors are joining us on the show, and for extra bookish and beverage info.
Connect with our additional co-hosts, Jordan and Emily, as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Cozy Reads and Sips.
And you can find me on Instagram at books.bottles.
Cheers! Cheers.